Hey guys, this is a video just to catch everyone up with what I've been doing and why I've been off social media. So at the start of this year I decided to move out of Auckland and to Palmerston North, and I decided to do that for a few reasons. So the first few are I wanted to be closer to family. Palmerston North is just an hour away from where my parents are, and it's where my sister is, and so I've moved in with my sister, my brother-in-law and their family, which has been really cool and an amazing opportunity to kind of spend more time with my nieces and nephews and just help out my family. So yeah, that's one reason, to be closer to family. The other, I guess, is to be in a more financially stable position while I'm trying to develop an online fitness business. So that's what I've been doing the last 6 months, is working towards that. And I've also started working part-time at another gym here in Palmerston North, but I'll talk about that later. Just want to keep talking more about kind of where I've been and why I decided to move out of Auckland. So yeah, I guess as well last year with COVID it just was a bit disruptive with the lockdowns, and I just want to be, if we ever have to go into another lockdown, I wanted to be in a home that I kind of feel a bit more myself in. And I guess flatting is just sometimes a little hard when you're around people that are not your family. You can't kind of just do your own thing, and yeah, I guess I just wanted to be in a more stable home unit, if that makes sense. Yeah, and then the last reason is I just found that Auckland, by the end of last year, I was living a very, very busy life, and I wasn't able to save and kind of do all the things that I want to do, and I just thought that moving here would be a really good chance to just strip everything right back to its bare minimum and then start building back my life in a lot more of a balance. So that's what I did when I moved here first of all. In January I kind of just decided not to work at a gym. I just decided to work towards my fitness business and really use that time as well to rest and kind of just have a bit of space emotionally and mentally, and it was amazing. And then kind of felt a bit hard as well going from such a busy pace of life, but after that I was able to, these opportunities just kind of kept coming to me in really beautiful ways. So my auntie and uncle who have a business here in Palmerston North, they go to a business networking community, and that's where they heard about this job opportunity with Kate and Toby, who own Studio Rubix. And then yeah, that job interview went well, and got the job there, and now I'm working 25 hours a week with Studio Rubix, which is an amazing business that I've now work for, and that's been really, really cool. But it was a really good timing for me, so I wasn't burnt out, and I'm able to start a job with like really good energy, and yeah, again, a much more better balance with balance with my timing. So I'm able to still work on my future business that I've been working away on, which is very close to being finished, but there's a few final tweaks that I need to do. And yeah, so that's kind of where I've been on why I decided to move. I've also been off social media because I think I've understood about myself that I'm very sensitive, and my mind loves to just overthink things. So when I moved here I wanted to just take away any chatter or noise in my brain and just give my emotions a rest and have nothing pulling me or making me feel bad about moving away, and I guess like getting FOMO and feeling like I've made a bad choice. So now I feel a lot better. I feel more open and able to go back on social media, and I also felt like the work that I'm doing now is going to be very much social media focused, where I'm going to have to be on it and engaged, and I wanted to kind of have a little bit of a calm before the storm, because I know now I'm just going to be full-time online. So I definitely didn't feel bad about just pulling back, and I know it seemed probably quite random to a few people that have followed me over the years, but I hope that it's been a well planned rest. Yeah, that's mainly why I came off social media. But coming back on, full steam ahead. I guess the other reason is that I am a perfectionist, and it takes up a lot of my time trying to prepare or plan the content, and I've been just trying to get all of the back end of my content for my online business done, and so I just wanted to put all my energy on getting my guides and resources and websites done. And then now that I have like the resources and the back end done, it's like now I can promote it with being like there is actually something to promote, rather than just me making videos and being like there's nothing I can offer you. So yeah, that was another reason. So now I'm just gonna have a bit of a chat or explain to you about my online business and what that is, a little bit more about Studio Rubix, and then also a little bit more about kind of what I'm doing with the creative arts this year and how I'm trying to continue keeping that in my life, because yeah, I still love dancing and all of the performing arts and arts in general. And then just maybe I'll do a room tour, just kind of like a general summary. Sweet. So I'll try to give you an overview of what I've been developing for an online program. So I've always been thinking about how to kind of bundle up everything that people need in order to live a healthy life and deliver that so people get really good value for money, but also really good coaching and kind of that relationship between coach and client. So the way that I've figured it out, and it probably will change over time, but for now this is the model that I've chosen to work with, is I have two main offerings that I will be delivering this year and next year. So the one is doing one-on-one consultations and then follow-ups, and those will be just kind of book in for yourself, book in that time, and I'll work with you one-to-one. Yeah, so that's that side. And then the other side is the side that I've been really putting most of my energy and love and thought towards. Not that that hasn't been, but this other side is just the creations side of it is a lot more. So what I'm doing is like a group 8-week program that you sign up to, and then you stay on board with me for a full year after the 8 weeks is finished. But the first 8 weeks is like an intensive coaching program. So for the coaching program, what I've created is 3 guides, exercise guides that you can choose between. One nutrition guide that you'll be given with recipes and kind of a whole big printout of education and useful tips. And then also I've got these 2 additional guides which are on sleep, stress and self-care, and then the other one is on mindsets and motivation. And I've printed those ones out because I've been able to finish these, and I've just printed them out so I can like proof them again. And they are just little short guides that come in addition, but the other guides are like more like 60 to 80 pages, the exercise and nutrition. And it's just information that I like kind of wish I could tell every client, but never really had the time during sessions. So it's like all those other questions that go into the big picture of your well-being that I haven't really been able to deliver in a way that is effective in the past. So this way, when you're online, you get all this information and you can go through it at your own time. And the idea is that you're not going to be like, boom, 8 weeks, now I'm amazing, I've got all my life sorted. It's like that's the start, and then I'll help you as you carry on. But that first 8 weeks is that really important time where I'm kind of really helping you establish new habits and things like that. So I'm keeping the groups relatively small and building them as I get better and as I have room for growth. So for example, the first run I only want 5 to 10 people, and then that can grow to maybe 10 to 15, and the next one can grow so that, you know, I don't ever want to exceed 30 people in a run, because I want to make sure that my level of service is really high and that I can continue communicating and checking in with everyone that's on the program. transformation program, but it's not really, I don't know, it's a corny kind of phrase, but it is kind of what it is. Anyway, yeah, the other things that I'm putting in there is group coaching, so doing that every 2 weeks so that I always stay connected with whoever's in the program and make sure I know what their short-term goals are, so I can keep following you up on that and just getting that trainer-client relationship really strong. And that's, yeah, there'll be 2 tiers, so you can either come in onto the program where you just do the group coaching, or the next level up, if you pay just a little bit more, you get one-on-one coaching. So I think that will be dependent on the kind of level of motivation or accountability that people want. Both are great, they're just dependent, yeah, it's tweakable, so that's cool. Then the other thing that I'm adding into this program is it's like a membership website, so when you sign up you get all these resources, kind of like 5 booklets, and then you also get this membership website which has a lot of other add-ons. So the add-ons are things like workout with me videos, so you can just press play and I'll record workouts weekly, pop them up lines so you can just press play and kind of work out with me, that whole shindig. And then also I'll have this kind of one other area called the tutorials, which is where I'll go into more depth with technique or with kind of more complex ideas around training, so that you know you're doing something properly, like things like bracing your core, breathing, just, you know, some of these technical things that I train clients in the gym with, but in a way that you can watch it and learn it at your own pace. And just another little side note is that I acknowledge that online training is never going to be as good as one-to-one in-person training. I'm not trying to deliver something that is going to be as high level service as one-to-one training, because one-to-one training you can actually physically like touch that person, put them in the right position, and I just love one-to-one training and I'm still doing that for that reason. But I want something that people can do who want to be coached, want to be trained, but don't necessarily want to pay the price of a personal trainer, and they maybe don't need that. So it's going to serve a different kind of client, which is okay. Like I wish I could train everyone that wants to work with me in person, but you know, you only have certain hours in a day, and I also only have a certain amount of energy. So this is a way for me to continue doing what I love and continue helping people and making it a really fun, interactive way. But it is not going to be as good as a service as one-to-one personal training. I acknowledge that, like, that's just what it is, that's how it is. And but it's going to be a better program than, say, for example, I've done it in the past where I just download a fitness guide from like your favourite fitness person online, and you just download what they do in the gym and you just kind of copy it. Where it's not like that, because I found that myself when I did that, I'd download it and be like, cool, and then stop doing it. So this way you get the resources, but then you get into a community, and then you also get the coaching. So you're remaining accountable to me, the person who has designed these guides, and I help kind of guide you through it when you have questions and you're like, oh, this isn't working for me, I can help you. And the way I've done it is that there's a lot of kind of flexibility with the program designing of, I give you these resources for exercise, and then I help you to set up like a plan for yourself that's unique, and I give you the exercise guide that I think will best suit your goals. So I help you choose, you know, what it is you're working towards, and everyone is so unique that everyone will be working towards different things. So again, it's the first run I do is what I'm going to call my beta run, which is like a trial run. So I'm going to make that half price for what it would normally be, and I'm just going to go through the program, how the way I've designed it, get that feedback, see what was working, what wasn't, and then re-deliver it with some tweaks. And just that's the whole plan, just to get better and better at what I'm delivering. But yeah, I guess what I'm the bigger, more important idea around this is that I'm hoping for people who sign up to this program to feel a sense of like empowerment, and that they can create a lifestyle that works for them, and they can become healthier and happier and more confident, but in a really beautiful pace that they're also in control of. Like, I'm not going to force people to have goals that they don't want. So it's like people who come onto the program, it's like, your goal, what are you trying to achieve, and then I'm going to facilitate you to do that. And I'm not going to pressurize you or say, like, it's not like who can lose the most weight in this amount of time, who can get the most shredded. Like, that is not what I'm trying to achieve. Like, if that's what you want, I'll help you do that, but what I'm really trying to do is help you to become a healthy and happy and confident individual. And I'm very much aware of the fact that health is not just about your physical health, it's about your mental health, your spiritual health, and all of those facets, like community and friendships, all of those things need to be accounted for. And if one thing is being pulled away from, like say you've got this crazy workout regime I've given you, and you've got this whole family, and that's just unrealistic. I'm giving you this really crazy, unrealistic workout routine, then it's just gonna take away from certain aspects of your life and make things worse. So I'm trying to deliver something that is very well-rounded and takes a lot of things into consideration, not just your physical well-being. So yeah, I'll give you more of a better glimpse of what it is later, but for now that's all I'll explain about it. The last thing I would say about this program is that I'm incorporating my beliefs around my faith, which is a Christian faith. So I decided to do this because personally I think that your faith, or the way you perceive the world, kind of should be the main part of your identity or how you see the world. And so when you think of it like that, like my faith and how I believe the world is formed and what I believe about myself is like my central beliefs, and they feed out into every area of my life. So when it comes to fitness and well-being and self-image, like all of those ideas or philosophies or principles come from my belief in my faith and my Christian beliefs. So as I was kind of following different people and listening to their ideas around health and well-being, I would always be like, yeah, that's awesome, that's so good, and like, yeah, I believe that too. And then sometimes there'd just be a little bit of a disconnect, especially like to do with mindfulness and to do with you know, stretching, like yoga and things like that. Sometimes just because their philosophies or principles come from a slightly different religious background or religion, there's just sometimes the philosophies don't quite line up. And I'm not against those practices, and I definitely have always had an open mind to try and understand different points of view. And yeah, I guess after being in the fitness industry for this long, I just have realized that what I believe in, how I perceive the body and how I perceive health and well-being is just slightly different. And all of my mindset and motivation and philosophies that I talk about in the program come back from a biblical perspective of how I perceive the body and how I perceive health and well-being. And I want to kind of cater to that community, because I myself found that, you know, I could go like 80% all into what this person was telling me, and then there'd be 20% where I just wasn't, I didn't agree, or I didn't want to do the things they were recommending. So yeah, I am incorporating my faith into this program and kind of what I've learned, because in all honesty I can't pretend that that has not been a huge part of me and my personal journey to finding health and well-being. So for me to just ignore it would be like it would be wrong. It would be like, this is how I achieved all these things, except I'm not being honest, because I'm not telling you the part that is a part of the puzzle. You know, it's a piece for me. It's been a piece and it's been a part, and it's played its part in my whole journey from when I was young to, well, I'm still young, I guess, maybe, to now. And yeah, And I can talk more about that later, but that's just to give you a heads up. And I guess the first question that people may have is that, what if I'm not Christian? What if I don't believe in what you believe, but I still want to do the exercise, or I still want to learn from you? And my answer to that would be like, that's cool, you don't have to believe in what I believe. And all of like the educational, the exercise part, the nutrition part has nothing to do really with my faith. It's just pragmatic. And so you can still do that and get a lot from it, but you just may find that some of the things that I write about or talk about faith or mindsets that you don't agree with. And again, that would be like me doing someone's program and they do meditation, and I mean I meditate but in a different way. So if you know, there would be a slight disconnect for you, and so long as you can kind of go, oh, I don't really believe in those things. It'd be like going to a yoga class and they're doing some things you don't really understand and it's going a little bit over your head, and so long as you don't mind that, then that's fine. You can still jump on board and you will still have a great time, but it's just what you're comfortable with, obviously, because you may be exposed to ideas or beliefs that you personally don't agree with, and then that's totally fine. You're more than welcome to disagree, and if you can be respectful, then you can come on board and we can still work together. If you find that it just doesn't match up with what you believe, then maybe it's not for you, and that's okay. So now I just wanted to talk a little bit about Studio Rubix and what I'm doing there, and it's really exciting. There's heaps of new developments for me personally here at the studio that I'm working at. So Studio Rubix, I started working with them 3 months ago, and I've started my Reformer Pilates training with them, which has been really exciting, and now I'm teaching classes. So just one a week, and I'm still just finishing some of the still just upskilling some of the training just to start getting better, I guess. I feel like I'm doing a good job, but there's that I can still improve. So yeah, I love Reformer Pilates. I love Pilates. That was actually my first form of exercise that I got into before dance, like after dancing, but before the gym. And I remember I had a like Mari Windsor DVD that I found from my auntie's house, and I took it home and I used to put it on and play it before school, and it was like, I just loved it, I just loved it. I remember getting like so strong, and I just became almost obsessed with it, and then I had to just chill out because I like couldn't skip a day, and that was, yeah, I realise now that was quite obsessive, but I'm not like that anymore. But it was amazing. I remember loving it, and so now that I'm teaching it, I feel really happy, and I actually want to learn mat Pilates this year as well, so I will maybe do that once I've got my handle around Reformer. And the other thing that I've started doing this year is something called aerial anti-gravity fitness, and that's really, really cool. It kind of reminds me of like aerial silks, which I kind of started learning during my dance training and then when I was in Mexico. But yeah, it's like a hammock, so it's like a silk hammock that you lie like in heaps of different ways. I'll put some videos somewhere, and then you can have a look at it for yourself. And I just teach one class a week at the moment, but I think that will be 3 shortly. And I just think it's such an amazing form of exercise where you can decompress your spine and stretch and strengthen in a really fun and kind of different way. And I've just loved it so far. So yeah, that's been really cool. Also, I still do personal training at the studio. It's kind of like a boutique studio, and yeah, it's nice doing one-on-one or two-on-one, and just, you know, I love being with people, and I think that personal training relationship's just a beautiful relationship you can't kind of replace with anything like else really. And so yeah, it's cool like meeting people in Palmy and getting a diverse range of clients, and the team is amazing. Kate and Toby, they do an amazing job of looking after us at Studio Rubix. We have cool like staff meetings, wellness initiatives, and I just feel really, really blessed to have found that job and to be taken care of and joining a group of amazing individuals who I can learn from. So yeah, that's Studio Rubix. And the other part of my self that I guess I'm trying to encourage to carry on, because in Auckland I was dancing there, and then when I shifted here I knew that it might take me a little while to find a little bit of a dance community here in Palmerston North. So what I have recently done is I auditioned for a musical, Legally Blonde, with the company Act 3, which a friend of my sister's, or someone that my brother-in-law works with, he does musical theatre, and he said, oh, you should audition for this, and I thought, yeah, why not, give it a go, and got into the ensemble. So that way I'll be dancing and singing, and yeah, I think it'll be awesome for me to continue that here and keep something going. I'm also going to see if I can start a class, an open ballet class, not myself but like attend, and then I do want to do an open lyrical class as well, but I'm just waiting to kind of meet people in the dance community and try to make that happen a little bit more organically, rather than just coming in knowing no one and being like, I'm starting this class, and then no one turning up. So yeah, I also go to a studio, not very often, but my cousin Lily, she does tap and lots of different kinds of dancing as well, and we just kind of go and have a bit of fun together. And I only started learning tap when I went to my dance school, and I only did it for 2 years, yeah, kind of 3 years, 2 years, and so I've got a lot of room for improvement with my tapping. So that's been fun, and I hope that I continue working on things in the creative arts. I'm still trying to find ways to upskill and keep all of that going because I love it, and yeah, I'll just let it happen organically, I think. And yeah, that's kind of me. That's a bit of a summary of my life. Have you made it here? Well done. And yeah, so this year expect to see more from me now, that I'm gonna start doing an online fitness business and kind of opening up a little bit more about my own health and well-being journey, how that all ties into my faith, and yeah, how I organise my life. I guess not that many, I'm sure that's not a very interesting topic, but yeah, no, I'm really passionate about it. I'm passionate about women learning to love their bodies and seeing them as, you know, beautiful masterpieces, and just, you know, not putting all this focus on the way that we look, and realizing who we are and who we're called to be, and just allowing us, like respecting our bodies and then enjoying life through the vessel of our body, and just, yeah, getting things into their right context and their right priority, neither obsessing nor neglecting the body. I think that's something I've really hooked onto, is this idea of we can definitely obsess about our body and become too fixated on our outward appearance, but we can also neglect and become almost like ignore our bodies, and I want people to find a healthy balance. Yeah, I'm excited about what this year's got to bring. It's already unfolded really beautifully, and I'm so grateful for moving, even though it was scary. I think that things are going well, and yeah, that's where I've been. That's what I've been up to. If you've got any questions, let me know. And what else? I'll do a quick room tour. I'll tidy my room first because it's a little bit messy, and then I'll show you my room. I won't show you the house because it's not my house to show. It's my sister's, and it's been really fun living with my sister, but yeah, I'll see if she wants her house on display. Probably not. So yeah, cool. So this is my room, and I always keep the keys like that. I'm a little bit forgetful, so I find having a hook for my keys very useful. This is my desk, which I do most of my work at, obviously. Just recently got this new chair. I love it. And that's my bed. I love my new cushion. Don't know why things like that make such a difference for me, but they do. And then finally we have my, what do you call that? Dresser. and my lady that comes with me everywhere. Haven't hung her up yet because I'm a bit nervous too with the walls, because I had this hanging up, the mirror, and then it fell down one day, so now I'm like, ooh, don't really want to hang anything up. But yeah, that's my room. It's a nice room and I love it. Lovely high ceilings as well. And my wardrobe, and yeah, that's it. Sweet, we made it. Thanks for tuning in, seeing what I've been up to. And for the rest of this year, you'll see more of me, see more videos about health, well-being, exercise, little bits of nutrition, and just lifestyle videos. So I'm excited to get started, and please bear with me as I learn the ways of YouTube and video. It's a new media that I am still learning, so feedback is appreciated, but so long as it's nice, like constructive criticism, because yeah, I know that I'm going to be, things won't be super polished, but I just need to start doing what I want to do and I will get there. So thanks for tuning in. If you made it this far, well done. I'm sure this has been a really ridiculously long video, but I feel like there was a lot I needed to say, and I'm sure I'll become more concise as time goes on. But that's a really big update from me, and thanks guys for tuning in, and I'll catch up with you again soon. Sweet. We out.